This is the Experienced Optimist, and I kind of want to talk today about now I see why a lot of guys in the MGTOW movement in the past, some of the guys said no marriage, no cohabitation, and no kids. But first, I want to kind of like talk about like what I've been up to and what I've been doing. So I left the United States, thank God, because I was sick of living in that racist hellhole, and I moved overseas. And ever since I moved overseas, a lot less stressed. I don't have to deal with a lot of RDAs, racist douchebags and assholes. I would say in America, like the percentage of RDAs is probably like 500%. There's so many people there that are anxious, racist, bullies, don't care about other people, don't care about veterans like I am, and they really go out of their way to make other people's life a living hell. Like I said in another video, one guy said, in American society, it's like there's a bunch of little Hitlers running around, and that's exactly what it's like. So now that I've been overseas, the percentage of those types of people have dropped dramatically. Like, I really don't have to deal with any RDAs, really, racist douchebags and assholes. It's probably like, where I'm at, it's probably like 2%, if that. People are laid back, they're more civilized, much more easy to deal with. So I'm really enjoying where I'm at right now. But as far as like what I was talking about earlier about having kids, I can see why people don't want to have kids now. Um, Now I really keep up with what's going on in Washington. I keep up with a lot of military professionals, a lot of military officers, advisors to the administrations in Washington, and I also keep up with the World Economic Forum and the Davos and all the other different economic forums. And the thing is that what I've realized is that none of these people, these business leaders, none of the people, political leaders, anyone that runs countries, runs banks, IMF, um, any of the world banks, they have no plans on uh, making the world a better place. They have no plans on increasing the middle class. They have no plans on stopping wars. They have no plans on helping people come together. In fact, it's the opposite. There was an economist in Washington recently, and he said what the world needs now, and I shit you not, he said we need more unemployment and more inequality. And his rationale for this was with more unemployment and more inequality, it would allow corporations to be more strategic and essentially exploit workers so that they can make more profit. So, this is what this guy was talking about. And being a veteran myself and listening to guys like General, no, sorry, Colonel McGregor, Colonel Wilkerson, I at least used to listen to Powell back in the day. I actually wanted to be like General Powell back in the day. More on that later. But listening to these guys and talking about the war machine, um, there are no plans on stopping that war machine. And the war machine, the military industrial complex, actually makes so much money. Colonel McGregor was actually breaking this down that there's no end in sight. And because they're planning on going to war and doing more war all around the world, it's almost kind of stupid at this point to have kids because your kids are just going to be wage slaves. They're going to get paid less money. They're going to have worse working conditions, as we're already seeing that play out in America, in Australia, and Canada. Um, Speaking of Canada, I actually went to Canada because I was going to do some jujitsu, some BJJ up there. And I went to buy some beef ribs. And guess this, like, so 4 kilograms of beef ribs in Canada that I was going to buy cost $116. That's how much the inflation was up there. And I was trying to get some other items from the grocery store, and many of the items of the grocery store I couldn't get because they were either they were there was some sort of trucking problems, some logistics problems going on in Canada. So a lot of things, it was almost like I was in a third world country. I couldn't get a lot of food items. The food was ultra expensive. Housing is ultra expensive in Canada. So I got the hell out of there. But you see this all happening all over the world. So now I understand why some of these MGTOW guys are like, what's the point of having kids? Because your kids are basically just going to be fodder for the war machine. They're going to be fodder for the economic system. And most people don't really help one another anymore that I'm noticing. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, talk about what I've been doing. And I think I'm going to make another video in the future about why people don't like bootlickers. Because in American society now, the problem that men are having right now is that a lot of men are scumbags and weasels, and they're bootlickers. They don't really stand for anything. They don't have any strategic thinking. They don't have any critical thinking. And like I said in the previous video, I used to be a bootlicker, man. I used to be a bootlicker for white people, and I used to put them on a pedestal, and I just wanted to fit in, which is one of the instincts that many people have. They, when you read about the dominance hierarchy, one of the instincts that a lot of people have is that they want to fit in, and they'll do anything to fit in, even if it ultimately destroys themselves. Like Candace Owens, I can't stand this woman. She's your typical bootlicker. And coming from the Caribbean, I think she's Caribbean descent. I know exactly what she's doing. She's in the Caribbean and in Africa. I've seen it in Africa. Um, there are a lot of bootlickers. And the reason why people don't respect a lot of bootlickers is because they don't stand for anything. They see a lot of injustice going on, but they like to suck up to people in power. Generally, when it comes to people in the Caribbean, a lot of Asians do this too, and a lot of people from India, Pakistan do this as well. They generally like to suck up to white people and pretend like there's no racism, pretend like black people, it's all some other people's fault. And you can't really respect a person like that because you're overlooking oppression just so you can fit in, just so you can make money. And it never works out for bootlickers in the long term. Like, as you see, the power structure already turned on Candace Owens, and it's just going to get worse for her in the future. But regardless, I just want to make this quick video talking about what I'm doing. I think I'm going to make that other video about bootlickers and why people don't like them and why you shouldn't be a bootlicker. Taken from a person like myself. Admittedly, I used to be a bootlicker in the past, and nothing good comes of it. It's better to be a real man, stand on some sort of principles, have a code, be honest about society and how it's structured. And when you do that, you'll live a better life. You may not end up being as rich as anybody else, some other people that are bootlickers that become tokens, but at least you can go to sleep at night knowing that you're a real man, you have real values, and you stand for something. A lot of conservatives talk about that, but it's a lot of bullshit. They really don't. They really don't care about that. It's just a lot of grandstanding. But when you're not a bootlicker and you actually have values, then you actually espouse what a lot of conservatives say they are. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, man. I got to get off, go do some military workouts, and then I'll probably drop another video later on. Talk to you later. Bye.